Here we go. All right, everybody. How's it going? You already know Sly K Loco right here with another episode of CannaConvos with Knowyuhgrow, man. How you doing there, brother?
What's up? What's up, brother?
Oh man, we chilling, man. You already know. It would be a lot better if we were on live because people could be able to come in and they would be able to talk and all that. But hey, we're gonna work with it, right?
Yeah, it is what it is, and all you just gotta work with it.
It is what it is, man. They be silencing me and shit, but hey, gotta do it. Gotta keep it pushing, right?
Yeah, brother. IG, brother. It's crazy. The things you see on IG,
Yeah.
and then the stuff that they target our community is unbelievable.
I know, man. It's crazy how, like, there's a lot of worse shit out here than just fucking cannabis, dude. Like, I don't get why, and it's no point to me. It feels like there's no point in the fight because it's gonna be legal anytime soon, like any day now.
Yeah,
Shit.
but
And what?
they just find a way to fight it and control it, brother. Like even like the thing that really gets me the most is the scammers, bro. There's so much scammers on impersonators on IG. You
Yeah,
report them, brother, and they do nothing. They leave the page up, and I'm
yeah,
like, you're like, they didn't find nothing wrong with it. I'm like, what? The person's trying to like all this Bitcoin and impersonating people, and that stays up. People report your account. I had an account taken down, brother, for animal abuse and firearms violations. I'm like,
really?
what? Yeah, that's how they get you, right? They go to something that different. Because I'm like, man, like what?
Yeah,
I don't post no firearms or nothing on my page. I didn't have no animals. I probably had one video with my cat,
mhm.
and that's it, brother. Like no
I
dog
think that
fighting,
that has to
fighting,
be
nothing
one
like
of
that.
in that situation. It has to be a hater. There has to be a fucking
Yeah,
hater on
yeah,
there that's going and looking up your thing and hitting like violence and shit like that. Because I've had that too. I've had it to where they said like there was violence and drug selling, and I'm like, calm down, all right? Like I'm not selling it. I'm not selling any fucking drugs, okay? Calm down. This is cannabis and the guns. Like if it is guns, like
yeah. It's crazy.
where I'm at, I can have guns and shit. But still, either way, it
I live
shouldn't
in
fucking.
Canada, bro. Canada, you know how it is in Canada, brother.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. In Canada, you can't have
you're
no guns or
probably
nothing, right?
yeah. You have your gun and you have your, but you can't use your gun like how you could use your gun in the States, right? You could
Okay.
go to the range or whatever. You got it locked, magazine out, whatever, and you give the police like your travel itinerary and stuff like that.
Oh shit.
The vehicle you travel in, your license plate, the route like it's crazy stuff like but like for protection and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, personal concealed carry crazies is
Craziness.
Canada's.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have to do something about this. I saw that somebody was setting up a change.org to where we can start
Mhm.
like petitioning to have Instagram actually start to show like what's going on, guys. Like, are you really trying to silence us? Because if so, that's against the First Amendment in America at least. And there's a lot of bunch of legal shit that I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that they don't want to have to fucking go through. So they should just do the
because
easy route. But that's probably what it is. Also, is the haters that are sitting there marking, and reporting, and they're
Mhm.
just following up and the algorithm is just following up and shit like that. But they don't report off those fucking scammers though.
No,
Oh,
brother. No, brother. You know when people try to scam me and try to impersonate people that I know I report the account I know is a scam account, and then you get a reply from Instagram probably like 6 weeks after, they didn't find nothing wrong with the account and give you all this guideline stuff. I'm like, what?
yeah, it's
It's like
confusing.
literally trying to be someone else, trying to get you to give your personal information for a giveaway. And so that's what it is. But I think once we target the money, you see, once people start targeting, if you get some sponsors and some heavy sponsors, and you could start to like hit up those people,
Yeah,
corporate people, like that's who you got to target. Because if you don't target the money, brother, nothing gonna happen. And
yeah,
they're claiming because it's a American company and America is not federally legal.
yep,
That's their loophole, right?
yep,
But
yep.
you're like you're Canadian, so how it comes and but then they're like, no, it's an American company. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So no
yeah,
matter if you live in a fully legal country or not, they still come with that loophole. So I guess once it's federally legal in the States,
Yeah.
if it becomes federally legal in the States, then I think that should clear up the loophole there.
Yeah, I
Then
hope
they
it
can't,
does.
at least they can't use that, right? They can
Yeah.
come with something else, but then you know what I mean? And then the companies too, their sponsors shouldn't feel nowhere no because it's something that is
It's legal.
100% legal, right?
Yes, man. And
So,
then, like I said, it's gonna be like it's coming, dude, because they need to really start thinking about the money, man. Like, if you really want to talk about the money and shit, like in cannabis, there is a lot of revenue that could be going besides the scammers. Besides the scammers and shit like that, there's companies that are getting into what do you got right there? The high, is that Hygrozyme or
yeah, that's Hygrozyme and Green Planet. There's two
not?
Canadian companies too. Hygrozyme is one that we work with a lot of times. We use their products and stuff like that. That's what you see me using in my RDWCs and even in the soils. I use like their they have three different products.
Not.
So so
So
that's one
for
of
all the
our
people,
go-tos.
out there, I needed to. We skipped a few steps, and I need to go back and let you introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, because your first time doing the pre-recording, and I know it worked, and we just keep going every day. We
yeah,
just kept
yeah,
going, you
we could
know.
just let it go for all day, right? So your name
Mhm.
is Knowyuhgrow, and I wanted to. My first question is, how did you come up with your name?
How did you come up? How did I come up with my name? I've been growing for a long time. I'm originally from Barbados,
Okay,
so when I moved to Canada, you get opportunities to search more and get more knowledge more easily. And
uh-huh.
I was watching a show, and it had this guest on. It was that not Mark Montgomery. I think it's Mark Montgomery, the guy from BC that was in all the problems with the weed and stuff back then. Went to
Okay,
jail and stuff like that. He was on the show and he was like, he started to go in some talking about the Caribbean and even Canada and places like that. Like the weed is terrible. People can't grow. Jamaica, there's no other place. California is the only place. Like he was talking some crazy shit, right?
yeah,
And he was talking about the processes, like the places he went that he seen weed, like the condition it was in. And some of the things he was saying was true, because in the Caribbean, the knowledge that was passed on from elders, and they got it from another elder, and that they had access to the internet or proper scientific methods and stuff like that. They just passed on what they knew, and
okay.
most of the stuff they learned was from their grandparents or whatever. But that was in like the regular vegetable farming.
So you would
But
say it's like bro science. They were just passing on bro science because they didn't know.
yeah, some of it wasn't even bro science. It's just that they didn't know why it works
Ah,
or how it works. They
okay,
didn't know the science behind a lot of it, and then the drying and curing part was up to now today. That's a part that was really not looked at from those people, because the quality was not there. So you grow good weed, go through the long process, and then you don't got
fuck it up
nowhere
on
to cure.
drying.
You're in a legal place, brother. Like you know what I mean. So you grind it in shanties inside a gully or whatever, trying
Yeah,
quick as possible in the bag as possible. Sell got away from you as possible, right?
yeah.
So I see how that could lead to, and how that does lead to some of the quality problems. But to say no one in the Caribbean or no one, and he said even Ontario, brother. He even said like Ontario and Canada, like BC or California. That's what he was saying. I was like, I think I gotta be
That's
like.
what's
So
true.
then right there and then, I was like, man, I learning a lot. I guess I was trying to just share it to my peers and stuff back home in the Caribbean. That's how it started, right?
Okay.
And then I was like, I'll find a name, and I can't remember how we like come up with the actual phrase, but I can remember saying, yeah, that kind of fits, right? The year. And
Yeah.
I think it was a program too on YouTube, a guy from Trinidad that is called What You Know. So he
Okay.
goes around doing questions and stuff, and trying to and giving people questions, trying to figure out what they know. So then the year part, obviously from the Caribbean, and then I was like, you were like, know you grow. It sounds good. It sounds original. You don't hear no one, nothing like that. So
Yeah, pretty sure you're pretty unique there. That's only your the way that you spell
That's
it and everything. I'm pretty sure. Like I've only seen your page, and I think you have a
yeah.
backup page too, right? Or no?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
know your grow underscore 420.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
my original page was know your grow 420,
Hmm.
and then this know your grow was just a backup. I never used to really use it. But after that one, my main one got deleted because I wanted to keep one for vegetables and one for cannabis content, right? So
Okay.
that's why I had the 420 on, and then I had the normal for know your grow. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
So like we're also into farming and stuff too, like that garlic and growing culinary herbs and mushrooms indoors. You see what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, you got. Hey, man,
Yeah.
your shit looks beautiful, man. I don't mean to say shit because it's not. Your grow looks
No, no,
beautiful.
brother. It's your language, brother. It's your language. You don't gotta apologize to me. Like someone come from the Caribbean too, brother. Like in conversations, every other word is normally a cuss word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't, so hearing
um.
shit is like, yeah. But
Yeah.
thanks, man. I try my best. You know, I always say self for praise is no praise, like praising yourself. So I kind of always give myself a hard time, but from people around me that know my hand and taste my hand, then it's so I eventually got to a point that I say, you know what? I am the best grower out there, but I'm a decent grower, you know? And
But you're pretty good. I mean, you're up there,
yeah,
and I feel like the best thing is when somebody smokes your weed and they're just like, "Yo, man, your shit is the best I've ever smoked," and it's like,
well,
calm down. It's not the best,
that's
but
one
it's
of the
pretty good.
things that's one of the things that give me the drive too, because my doctor, one of our doctors,
Mhm.
back then we give him some weed, brother, and like he owns a pharmacy, right?
Yeah,
Like a hybrid pharmacy. So brother, he was like, he even looked at it. He's like, I can't even keep this in the store.
yeah,
You know
because
what
it's
I
gone
mean?
so quick.
Right away, brother, this look on his face, and then he was like, "Yo, I would love to like, cause he has a legal pharmacy. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
it's like he's like, if I could get this type of weed in my store, brother, I'll sell this all day. You need to get a micro. He told me that right away, bro. So right away after seeing the weed, he was like, man, you need to get a micro.
Like that was your calling, right? After that, you were like, "Shit, I'm gonna do this," right?
Yeah, that was I reckon because people that know weed and know quality weed that is seeing a lot, especially seeing the weed in the legal market, right? Hearing that from someone like that, you know what I mean? With
Yeah,
those credentials, that was
I-
not obviously hearing it from the people around me too, but and my wife obviously, but hearing that from him, that was like, you know, first making us know we had a good strain, not just growing good, but we know we had something to work with. And from there, I start breeding that strain. I keep working on it. Been
what
working on
strain
it
was
like
that?
4 years. So it's just so we call it the juice. We have
The
a line
juice.
we call the juice, but that was the original one. But we worked with that. It was a cut. It was a cut. It was like a cut only strain for a while. It was basically just a pheno of pink Kush
Okay.
crossed with island sweet skunk.
Okay.
It was just a pheno of that was going around in a circle that was kind of exclusive in a circle. And then there's a serious story behind this week. The guy was moving in the middle of winter. The only person that had it growing in this area, you know how that goes. He was
Yeah,
moving in the winter, and he didn't want to. And where he was going to was in a different area, so he didn't want to even take the plants. He didn't want to see people with him moving in plants in this new place.
yeah.
And he gave his brother 4 cuts to preserve it.
Okay. And that
And
was it.
his brother was not doing a good job. We
Okay.
got those 4 cuts. They were like dying and looking. Rather they look terrible. I was even like mad when I came home and seeing them. You know, I was like, what the is this? You know, and then I was like, you know what?
You're like, what the
Let me
fuck
just
did you do this plant, man? Shit.
let me work with them because I was pissed. You know, I was like, this woman really saying these other because his girl is who sent them to us, and I was like, she really saying these things to me. Like, what the hell, brother?
Yeah.
But knowing, but I know the guy's brother, right, the grower, and I know. So I'm like, if it's something that he tried to preserve, it has to be fired and it
Yeah.
has to be export. So brother, we nurtured them, we grew them out, we flowered. Brother, I was shocked. So I called him after, the grower, because I know him too, and I talked to him, and he told me what it was and the whole situation. He's like, yo, brother, don't let no one get them. Don't even let his brother get back a cut from me.
Really? It went like
Yeah,
that, huh?
bro.
So it's
That that's what he told me. And
shit.
from there, just growing it, start to breed it, start to work with it. We introduced a strain called Cherry West with it, Cherry West back cross,
Okay.
and then we work with it, hunt it, work with it, hunt it, work with it, hunt it, and right now we have two. Yeah, bro, you can see. You don't say no more. We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
something coming
I
up
was
with that.
looking back in your page, and you're like, I think it's the last one I was looking at is the pink grapefruit. Is that a cross of the pink Kush?
No, no, the pink grapefruit that was on a grow off. That was the one in the grow tank. That
Okay.
was the one the skin of mine grow off. That was a strain that Atlas Seeds was working with there.
Okay.
Nice strain, good. It has some of them. Some people in the growth had some problems with worms, but it put up some really good. Cause you see what I got back. I have a pheno there right now that is very. But the ones that I ran, not the last. I ran a run in the big room. It was in cocoa and pots, not the RDWC. The one before the RDWC.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you about that. You are in the RWC system, not a DWC, right?
Yeah, I it's crazy. In the tank is DWC.
The
In the
tank is
room,
DW. Okay.
yeah, no, that's those just separate buckets. Nothing
Ah,
is no recirculating or nothing like that, right?
yeah.
But in the room, in the big the trait style, that's RDWC. Obviously, that's like a waterfall style. It's not like direct undercurrent. It sucks from the bottom and then it returns and falls to the top of the trays. And
Okay.
I designed it that style just with the concept that when the water is falling, it's pulling oxygen in down with it. So it kind of technically helps improve the oxygen in the water.
And you want high
That's
oxygen.
the
Now,
key here
I've
in it.
never done a DWC and I've never done an RDBC either, but
Mhm.
I do have this guy on here, Dankhouse Houston. He keeps telling me that I would kill it in RWC if I just gave it a try. DWC too.
Yeah, brother.
For
Try
those
it.
who don't know, RWC stands for recirculating water culture.
Yeah.
Culture.
Deep water culture.
Culture. Deep water culture is DWC. So
Yeah, yeah.
for those who don't know, there's a difference. The DWC, it just refresh my memory. I can't remember right now.
So the DWC is just in a still container bucket, whatever, no circulation, so you don't have a pump pulling it to an epicenter and returning it.
You just have the
And the
air stone,
RD,
right?
yeah, just the air stone and
Okay.
that's it. No recirculating pump or nothing like that, right?
Okay.
In the RDWC, then you have the pump and you have the epicenter, like the bucket where you could check your nutrients and fill it. And so the RDWC is anybody that planning to go deep water culture and you could afford it, just go RDWC one time. You
Might as
build
well
a
just do it.
yeah, brother. It's a big difference. It takes a lot of the work out of it because you're controlling from one bucket instead of going. So you don't have to be lifting up plants and
Oh,
changing. You just change from the epicenter, right? So
okay.
I
I
drain
see.
from that. I fill back from that. I add my nutrients. I check my pH, everything from there, and that's it, right?
Okay. Okay. So
So
you just mess with the reservoir. You don't have to go to every bucket and check the pH
nothing.
and all that. It's just the resi. That's what you're messing with, and the rest of the plants should be at that same pH
Will be because the water will be circulating, so it will be at that same. It keeps it more balanced too, in my opinion.
and you don't need an
Uh,
air stone because
yeah,
it's or
yeah,
do you?
we do. So some people have minimum ear stones, especially when they have the waterfall system with a lot of different inlets.
Okay.
I still run the ear stones just to be because I don't have a chiller, right? I
Oh,
don't
okay.
run and I don't run my system sterile either, right? I use microbes. So I think that's one of the reasons I could get away without running the chiller in the summer, especially.
How
But
hot does it get without a chiller?
so like in Celsius, my right now my water like once I ran my because my lights run I ran my room pretty cool when I'm doing the RDWC. So my water gets around 20 to 21 max. That's when it's
I
thing, and
think that,
that's kind of the point. That's kind of what people say is the point. But in with a microbial system, I seen systems run hotter, no bud rot, no root rot or nothing like that.
and the
So
warmer the water, the more chance of root rot happening.
PCN and
Yeah.
different
Okay.
bacteria
So
and
you want it. So you
less oxygen.
okay? So you would want it colder, which over here in the States, I think that would be about 50 degrees if it was 20 Celsius, right? Maybe I'm
Yeah.
not too sure.
So,
Somebody's gonna have
so
to look that
instead,
up.
and Fahrenheit it would be around I think 60. No, I think it's
I think it's
I
50
can't.
because
I Yeah, I gotta check it in because the Celsius and Fahrenheit.
yeah,
You know it
I'm
goes
a
up, but I
cook.
think 62, 60, no, or seven, no, sorry, 72, 72. I think 68 to 70 is. I think that was. I think that would be in the Fahrenheit.
Okay, okay.
But
Yeah, I
basically,
work
you
at a
don't.
kitchen, so we always have to worry. We have to use Celsius instead of Fahrenheit, and so I should know this, but
Yeah,
I don't. Oh, that's
but
pretty
just
cool.
keep it oxygenated,
Okay.
and you should be good. But the bacteria, what that does is that inoculates the roots first, the beneficial bacteria. So then there's no room or there's nothing, no more space left for the bad bacteria to get
Okay.
hold, and it also fights the bad bacteria. So that's why I like the microbial style rather
Okay.
than the sterile style. That's
And
just my opinion.
what do you do to keep it sterile? Do you put some like I don't even know? Would you put
No, because
chlorine?
I don't use, cause I don't want to kill my microbes, right? So I don't do no sterile nothing. I don't use no hydrogen peroxide or no
Okay.
nothing. I just use the one product from Hygrozyme called Hycling,
Okay.
and that helps break down the gunk and stuff like that in the system while it's running, and help clean the root matter and stuff like that too. So that works perfect for me. I even have, because I gotta do a testimonial for them. So I my last RDWC run, I didn't even wash out my my tubs. I just drained the water and left it. There's no nutrient buildup around the corners. There's no salt. I left it like that to do some videos and stuff for them, and use it in my RO system to clean my filter jugs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even clean my plant pots and trays, and so that's what it is. Anything else than that, bleach or anything, is going to kill my microbes, right? Or
Yeah, yeah. And
so.
that's defeating the purpose if you're trying to keep the microbes. Now, one thing I was gonna ask you is like, you can do sterile, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's possible, but then I'm just thinking like yours would be more healthier because it would have the microbes, and with the microbes,
A
like
lot
I
of
grow
people
in soil.
a lot of people do the steroids. So what I see the difference. This is just my opinion from my experience, from what I observed. There's no, I know the science behind it, but my system started to function kind of like a soil system, meaning I was able to read my system different. And I find when I add a fresh set of micros, my pH starts to move, and like it fluctuates, but it
Yeah.
doesn't. It stabilizes itself and it drops itself. So I started to like, because I know the nukes I use, I know them pretty good, and they normally don't do that, right? But I started to add more micros, and I realized, and I seen it happen. I was able to read it out as the only thing that could be doing it
Is the
is
microbe?
the micro, because
Yeah.
it doesn't keep climbing. It just goes like, if I start at 5.8, even if I try to balance it out, it just starts, especially like when I get into later in flower, and I use more microbes, it just comes up, and then it starts to balance out like at 6.3, and that start to range, and then it doesn't move from there at all. Like my water drops. The only way it moves is if I'm feeding too much or too little, and then I read the EC,
Hmm.
and you see your pH move, right? That's how I kind of balance out with ppm or EC to feed my plants. I just watch what happens, right?
Yeah,
If I go and I see my ppm spike, and my water level is going down, then I know the plants are not eating as much food, so I know I need to they prefer a lower ppm there, right?
yeah,
But if I see it dropping like crazy, then I know these plants need a higher EC, right?
yeah.
So that's kind of how. And when I go to a point and I see it stable and it just goes down, I just work with it like that. But
Nice. So,
I
what's your optimal pH level? What you like? What would you like to keep it at?
so I like to try to keep it around 5. In veg, I have no problem keeping it at like 5.8, but in flower, I like fluctuate from 5.8 to so 6.3. Some people definitely might not go that high, but I
No,
started to
that's
just
not actually that high, really, because I've
yeah, but for
heard.
hydro, right? You know it goes for hydro, but
Yeah, oh, for hydro.
softness
Yeah, I'm
and
sorry. I was thinking about
yeah,
soil, and I'm still
but,
stuck in soil, so I'm not thinking about
but
hydro, because
there's
hydro is
some
different.
studies that say though there's some studies that say in hydroponic that the phosphorus and potassium though is uptaken better at that 6.3 6.4.
Okay.
But there's some studies saying 2.58 is optimal, right? So I just go with what works for me. And my system, the way I work my system, it always balances out in flower at 6.3.
Okay.
I don't see no problems. You see how my stuff is growing, so
Looks beautiful.
I work with it, But the micros, I gotta check in the site because there's not a lot of research with it on the RDWC or the deep water culture in whole, right? You
Yeah.
got more people with the research for the soils and understanding how everything works together. But I'm seeing some of those effects in RDWC, which is amazing to me because I don't really hear no one mentioning it or even going into the science behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because to
So
me it's a mystery because it's water, dude. It's different than the soil. Like
yeah,
it's to me, it's just a little bit like I need more information out there. Like there has to be more studies out there where people are sitting there documenting what's going on exactly because we kind of know what's going on exactly in the soil, but
yeah.
DWC I really haven't heard anything from.
I think
Um,
it's basically because it's to me cut the medium one side. You're still having the plant and the microbes having that same relationship. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's just that a lot of people wasn't really when they hear hydroponics or RDWC or anything like that, they they just go sterile, right? So if sterile was the go-to, then and the microbes was the like the more radical part of it. You know what I mean? Less
more
people
extreme.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So less beneficial for some companies. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you know how it goes, brother. At the end of the day, all the research and stuff out there, it all boils back down to money.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
80,
yeah.
90% of it, I would say. A lot of the studies out there, you could interpret one way from it, or you could interpret other thing from it. But they're all aimed up. You gotta look who's behind the fine print, brother. Who's funding it? And when you look behind our really, really fine print, you might see some shell companies. But when you look behind that, those shell companies lead back to a company that is benefiting from that
From
research.
that research, yeah, lobbyists, right? Lobbyists and people who do that shit. They go around and give the testers or the companies like money so that they can say that their product is good, so that they
No,
can
brother,
sell more product.
it goes way deeper than that, brother.
Yeah, oh
It
yeah,
goes way the same way the food industry is controlled, brother. This industry is controlled. Just we don't see it like people that were in the food industry and see that the big corruption, brother. It's here in cannabis too, but
yeah. I know it
um,
is, man. I feel like anything good, evil, or I wouldn't want to say evil, but like bad always just gets in.
greed,
Anything good, there's
greed,
always some bad motherfucker that's trying to get in. That's just gonna make it. something that it was not originally designed to be, or originally, meant to be. Because this whole community, like, we know that the money's there, right? We know that the money's there, but we also know that it's medicine and that we're trying to help
Mhm.
people, right? But these people, when you got money and helping people, those two are totally different. You're gonna get like motherfuckers.
Yeah, business and charity, they go
There you go.
different hands. You know what I
There you
mean?
go. Business and charity is just two different things. So, what? Yeah, okay. So we already talked about you using a water chiller, right?
Yeah, I don't use them. Right.
You don't? You do or don't?
Right. I don't.
No
That's why
water
I go
chiller.
with the microwave, right?
Yeah. So then you just keep yours a little bit warmer. Yeah. And what system are you using right now? As for the
Right.
RWC.
The RWC, that's I built that. That's a DIY system.
Nice. You
That's
did it yourself? That looks fucking
yeah,
nice, brother. I was looking at it like, shit, that looked professional.
I build that system. Thanks, brother. If you look down my videos, if you look down in my thing deep, you'll see a reel with me just doing a quick put together. So that's basically I gotta give credit to who I got that design from.
Uh-huh.
Low key grow.
Low key grow. Okay.
Yeah, low key. He
Shout out.
runs a lot of
Shout out
those
to Low
systems.
key.
Um, Current culture has a similar system, but they're not joined together like their mothers or what they call them, but it's smaller. So basically, what that is, that's a reservoir. Like the res you would have, like the lower profile res for the flood and drain system. That you will put a tray over it, and then the water drains into that and get pumps back into the other table.
Yeah.
That's basic. Those are basically those res. They're like I think 80 gallons, 75 to 80 gallons. The cover is some PVC board. Like it's like plastic board. Like okay, the
Yeah.
PVC, the same material that makes the pipes and stuff. And basically that's what it is, brother.
Nice,
I
man.
use
Sounds
my
like a easy, very
simple
pretty easy, simple way to grow. And the thing is,
and
with RWC, the plants grow twice as big. So anybody who's out there growing, if you grow
fast
fucking,
too.
huh?
It's fast too, right? The speed time, right? It cuts down your. You could keep the same size, but it cuts down your veg time like a lot, like
Yeah,
a lot.
like two weeks off of it, right? Or
Sometimes more, because like in my system, because I could do 20 up to 24 plants, I could literally flip in like 3 days.
damn, you better calm
Well, I mean,
down
I
there.
did flip. I mostly
Hey,
flip. Well, I think the quickest I flipped was 7 days. The last one was 14 or 13. I think 13 days.
and then you flip the flower.
Yeah, you see the last one in the room? That veg was 13 days veg, brother.
God damn, that's fucking
Now,
sick,
you see all the plants, ain't that right? It's like
man.
crazy, brother. It's
I
like
am,
a turbo. It's like a turbocharged, supercharged bike, brother.
yeah.
Just, just hold on and just go. You gotta do a lot more defoliating though, because the leaves and it just grows. And the way I do my clones though, I do monster cropping. Is
Okay.
basically you cut the clones when the plant is in flower.
Oh,
So
okay.
like 3 weeks in flower, I cut them and they're starting to have like a small buzz. They go through a slight re-veg process,
No.
but they put out a lot of branches. So that's how I'm gonna get my plants to be bushy like that fast, because I start with good, strong, good big
Sure.
clones. I cut my clones big too,
Yeah.
and I always let them cut them when the plant is flowering.
That's so sick. I know deep Dank House Houston, he's always been telling me that they grow faster, they grow bigger. That's just the way to grow. And I just like I
You
still
got
haven't.
more control. You got more control. If you like controlling and thinking around, and to me, you got more control, and then you get to a point when you have it dialed in, brother. You feel like you're missing something because you don't got to check for your plants, bro. Brother, no, not brother. You don't literally check for your plants. Especially if you have more technology with the Wi-Fi monitors and stuff like that. Brother, I swear you could go away for 2 weeks and don't even look at your plants. The only thing is
Shoot.
gonna be that they're gonna get super big bushy, right?
So it's the set it
You,
and forget it thing.
Yes, I know, but you could get to that point. You have to have the equipment for it, though. You know,
Yeah. The Wi-Fi,
you
the
can see,
pulse
you
setter,
can in the next couple, and then
the
you have to have a top up too, right? So
yeah.
your epicenter, you have a flow, and then you have your outside reservoir going to that. You could either mix it or you could keep it plain just to top back up. And when it gets to that level, it just fills back up automatically.
Oh
If you got
yeah.
good stable nutrients, it's gonna stay on the level. If you don't, and you have like a doser, a simple pH doser, you don't gotta go buy none of these crazy, outrageous price equipment that you're seeing on the market on Instagram. You could buy a simple doser, and that keeps your pH in check, brother.
Nice,
It's
man.
it's that
I do
easy.
have to tell you though, it does sound too good to be true. So I know there always has to be a con. What are
Yeah.
some cons that could have that you have to tell?
So so first thing, the upfront price is way more. Depends on how far you want to go, especially if you're not doing it yourself. If you're doing it yourself, it chops the price down like less than half for
Yeah.
sure. As to buy one of these, like one of these system bills, not see mine is two, like one of those from Current Culture. I think it's like probably $700, $600 just one.
Damn, I was not thinking
Yeah.
that much. I was thinking that the lowest maybe $100. But if it's going
No,
that
brother.
much,
The reds cost like that. The reds cost like $100. Like if you just buy the reds and just drill the holes and do it yourself, right?
yeah, and that's a what size of res is that?
That's a 80 gallon.
80 gallon. Well, yeah. Those are expensive. I was looking those
Yeah.
up because I was trying to see what kind of gallons
They
because I'm
used to
trying to
be for
dabble
around
into
like
it. I'm sorry.
yeah, so they used to be for around 70 and stuff like that. Or you could go like the hydro store when some of the tips are broken off or something like that. They sell them out cheaper. That's why I got all of mine actually got a little tip broken or a little something, that
Imperfection.
yeah, not yeah, or little damage, right? But it doesn't do nothing to the product or nothing like that. Like like the lips, where it
Yeah.
come over that if you want to drop it inside the table, like just a little crack like that, it
Might as
brought
well
the
get
price
some bucks
down.
off of it for that, right? I mean, it's not. It's like cosmetic and shit. Like
Yeah.
it's not
A
even
lot of
something to
times
be worried about.
they claim it damage. They claim it as something that was damaged in shipping, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you get it. But the hydro stores are going away, guys. Support your local hydro stores.
This
It's
is a real
really
one, man.
better.
Everybody out there, make sure to go to your local place, get local soil, fucking bags, whatever it is, man. Make sure to support these stores because they are closing down because of
Better.
big,
Quickly.
Amazon and shit like that. And we need to support the community just the way that we support the community right now. We should be doing that with our local grocery stores. So that's why me
We
personally,
have, we have to, brother. Are we gonna put? Are we gonna? The monopoly is getting so tight. If we don't start the thing, brother, it's gonna come the time that there's no price control, brother. They just set whatever they want, and there's no other option because all the options is the same company under different that own different brands, brother. They don't change the brand name. They keep that brand name and keep operating underneath that name, but the all leads back down to want to, brother. Believe it or not, it all leads back to one company. Just leave it. I can just leave it at that.
yeah, no, I believe it because that's the way that fucking companies work, man. Is they have these shell companies and they have subsidiaries, if I'm saying that word right, that like NBC, Paramount. These companies come from one big ass fucking company, via Viacom. So Viacom has NBC, has Comedy Central, has like there's all that is the exact same thing that be happening in these grocery stores or on like
Yeah.
Amazon and shit.
But the thing Amazon did, Amazon caught on the convenience. They work at a low price, like literally no profit,
Yeah.
or even sometimes a minimum loss, because they know they can make it back. So they just wanted to gain the consumer shit, right?
Yes.
And when they gain that consumer shit, brother, check Amazon out, right? A lot of people don't even realize sometimes you pay even more on Amazon than the hydro store. But they got you to that trap that you don't even check no more. You just go straight to Amazon when you want something, right?
Yep. Yep.
And Amazon bought out a lot of the small companies that used to sell products on Amazon. So Amazon actually owned those companies too. Like a lot
See
of these
that?
cameras, these like even like these. I don't know if you can see it right here. Like these blink, like these Wi-Fi wireless
Oh,
battery.
meshes.
Yeah, the blink and all those different. Every time you see something that comes out decent on Amazon and it's a good price and it works okay, believe you me, brother, Amazon already acquiring that company and they're just getting the consumer shit. And as
Yep.
soon as they get that consumer shit, the package is gonna change it, the price is gonna change. Before you could hook up 5 of these to the cloud free, you could video high quality, whatever. Amazon took it over and within 7 months you could only do one without paying, and then I don't think you could do nothing right now. So you gotta have a prescription
The
and
subscription and
subscription,
shit.
a
Yeah. I was
subscription.
watching a thing on I think it was, I can't remember what company. Oh, Uber and the Uber drivers and shit. They're doing that same thing. They already grabbed the market and now they're
Yeah,
pushing out all the other people, right? And they know that they're losing money right now, but they don't care because they're gonna make it up once they have the
they're thinking
monopoly.
to make it back. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Once you get that consumer share, and then from there, that's it, right? Once the investors, they could diddle around with the investors, and also we, as the consumers, believe it or not, we have the control.
yeah, we do.
Without the consumers, no product's gonna sell, bro. None,
Yeah.
zero.
And that's where knowledge comes in. Knowledge needs to come in here because we need to know that oh, okay, this is what's happening. You know, they got all these little small companies that they already bought out, but they're under other names. So you're not going to know that Amazon owns them until it's already too late, and they already own everything. Amazon's taking over. It's crazy.
So we gotta do what we could try, brother. A lot of the products in the cannabis industry, brother, they all change owners and
Oh
just
yeah,
continue like that. No one knows. A lot of them change owners, brother. A lot of them.
yeah, oh
So
yeah, and that's why for lights and stuff like that, some people were saying that like Spider Farm is Mars Hydro and da 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 da. Like, I'm like, it doesn't really matter because I mean, Coca Cola is Pepsi or Pepsi is Coca Cola. Like, it's
everything
all
is
the time,
Coca Cola, brother.
huh?
And in the drink world, almost everything is Coca Cola.
Yeah,
Even
everything's
the
Coca
even the
Cola because
water world.
it's owned by everything. It owns the Sony. It owns, it's just to me, it feels like this capitalism has just gotten too out of hand.
But on the Mars and Spider Farmer topic though, there's a little shares and stuff in there, but they're separate companies though. But
Yeah.
you never know who's at top. But they
Yeah.
operate
I know they're
completely
separate companies. It's just
separate.
somebody had
Yeah.
said that, and I was like, well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised the way that everything's going. Like,
Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they were
yeah,
in
yeah. I ask those
cahoots.
questions. I have a pretty good relationship with Spider Farmer. They're
Yeah,
one of my sponsors for forever, literally from almost the time I started there too, right? So
yeah, and
that's
that's
what
one
one
thing I
of
was kind of like, I don't know if that's true because Spider Farmer, I know if you get a hold of them, they will get you your light fixed or whatever. And then some people said that
some
they didn't get that. And I'm like,
some countries. Because the thing about it is, some of these customer care places are overseas and different. You know how it goes.
yeah,
So, but once you deal, I hear complaints as well, and I seen really good service too. But
yeah,
even with the complaints, I seen those got dealt with too after. But in my opinion, some of them could have been dealt with way more speedier. And some of these people that these companies hire, they don't understand the urgency of when your lights out and you're in flower. You need that light to keep your stuff
Mhm.
going. Some that the knowledge that they should train their workers, because some of their workers have no clue, brother. They're just answering the phone and reading the script. Basically, right? They tell all of them tell you the same exact thing in order, but
Yeah.
they don't
They got the
understand.
script right.
They understand it from the business point of view, but they gotta look at things from the grower's point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Your
because
light is done.
if they knew that we needed that light because otherwise our whole fucking crop is gonna be shit, like I'm sure they would, the people talking would be like, "Oh, hey, let me get this guy some help real quick because he needs his light back and shit." And
Yeah,
Um,
they need to do a lot of companies, man. They need to do better when it comes to that point for sure. To understanding growing and stuff like that, and how urgent it. Because to them, sometimes it may be like, oh, so what a big deal to get you like out in a couple of days or a week or what. That time your girl's there fucking around, brother. Like especially if it's a problem that the light doesn't work at all. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. Then you're
So
fucked.
so they need to step up. Some companies do step up like really, really, really good, but
For those out there, what I would suggest is always having a backup light. What I do personally, I have a old school LED light, like those
mhm.
old ones with the fans in them and shit. Like I
Yeah.
got that bitch in backup just in case. You never know when you're gonna need that motherfucker. I was gonna get rid of it too, but I'm like, you never know if my big because I have a Spider Farmer SC 7 or 5000, and it is a
Mhm.
great
That,
light.
that,
Don't
that's a good,
please don't get me
that,
wrong, people.
that's
Spider
a really
Farmer
good
is a
light, brother.
great company, and their lights are great. I love that company. I was just saying that one thing, but anyways, um,
Every company has their faults, though. You know what I mean? Like any manufacturer, any car company, any whatever. You know, because a lot of things are out of their control. They just buy some products to manufacture their lights. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, it could.
But
They could just been having a bad day, and they couldn't get to you during that time on your customer service. Whoopity whoop. But
it happens. But really keep it like this. They should. People need to take the growers in the cannabis industry more serious and provide better service, no matter what company. It's not saying that companies don't provide excellent service because there are some companies that provide excellent service, but I just think they look at home growers as just whatever, you know. They don't
nah,
understand
they're
people growing
just
in the
growers, and
environment.
it's like, no, we're not just growers. We are growers. Eh?
It's not just like it's a blender or some house appliance that you can
Yeah,
beat
like
your radio or whatever. No, man, it's something that you need to keep your grow going. So if you look at it at that point, and if all their customers or their managers looking at that point and train their workers better, then it will come to us, right?
yeah, because I would say that
We
there's
have the
bigger.
power. We have the power as the grower and the consumer.
Yeah, and we need to take that. I feel like shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it. I lost it. So I was looking
Nah,
back at your page. You had 6 tents at one time, or do you still have 6 tents going?
probably more. Yeah, we probably got 6 or 7 for now.
Ooh,
We
man,
probably got
that's beautiful,
some
doggy.
more to come though. We can have in the near future every size grow tank, almost every size grow tank that there is. So from the 2x2 right back up to like the 10x10, 12x12 in that type of area.
Yeah.
4x8s, you got a 5x5, 4x4, 3x3,
Now is
2x4.
everything at the same stage? Well, no, obviously not, right? Because like in a smaller tent you would have veg, right? And a bigger tent you would have flower, right?
Yeah, some for plant starts, some for vegetables. We got one separate for mushrooms.
Oh,
So
so how was
yeah,
that? How was
one
because
for
with mushrooms you have to keep it real sterile, don't you?
yeah, and then you just work. So we buy in, we get in we got the bags. So we did a trial run, but we're going to really start to push it here pretty soon. Shout
Nice.
out to Nature Lions Mushrooms. We got
What kind of mushrooms are you growing? Are you growing magic or like
no,
oysters or
we were doing edible. So we're doing oysters, we did king oysters,
kings? Okay, some
some
blues,
lion's mane, and
lion's
some
mane.
other
Those are
couple
good
of
ones.
them. Yeah, so that's me and the magic mushroom brother. We don't agree, bro.
Hey, no judgment here, brother. Me either, because
But educate.
a couple weeks ago, this guy gave me about an ounce, or like a couple months ago, he gave me an ounce of mushrooms, and I was like, I don't know. And I tried one cap, and I did not like it. I'm not young anymore. I can't do mushrooms like that anymore. I just can't do it. It's too much.
Yeah, but education, educate yourself about the proper uses of it and the
Yeah,
right microdoses and that type of style. Then I think is the way to go. But back then you didn't give a fuck about that, right? You just
yeah. You just
boiling the
ate.
mushroom. No,
Ah.
we didn't. We boiled it and mixed it like Guinness.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
I
that
never
is
tried
so.
that.
I rather don't.
So
don't
he
try,
said,
please.
"Don't do it. Don't do that." Okay, all right,
Don't,
noted.
don't, don't do it.
So back in, I think it was back in February, you had the Hermes that were just, or were those just males?
Those are herms. Those are off of the same in the growth.
Okay,
Yeah, we
so
had the two biggest, nicest plants too. That were those ones were going. Those ones were growing with some vigor. But if you had kept them, I know we would have run out of space in the tank too. The way they comparing the size to the smallest ones, because these three were the three smallest
really, and they were
compared to the size they
were they Herming
say
out, or
again.
the big ones were the ones that Hermed, right?
The ones that were the biggest oak, the ones that were growing the most vigor and stuff out of them, those ones end up being herm. I tossed those, and these three, they didn't have no herm. They didn't push no bananas or
No
nothing.
nanners.
So
For those who don't know out there,
nothing.
a nanner is a pollen sac that can grow on a female plant. Okay, that's why we call them Hermes, because they have, male and female parts. Now, the way that you want to think about a bud plant is the bud is kind of like a vagina. It is the sexual reproduction organ, and the pollen is the sperm. And so once the pollen gets on the bud, boom, it starts making seeds. Well, life finds a way in cannabis. And so sometimes if you have all female and you got good genetics and no stress, and there's a bunch of other things that could happen, but it will hermy and that pollen sac will come out. And it looks right on the bud. It looks like a bud, but or I'm sorry, it's right on the bud, and then it'll just be some little discoloration. It looks a little bit more like a banana almost. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why we call it
yeah,
banana.
yeah. But there are other there. So that's been that happens when the plant is going along in flower. But these ones, I saw them before the plant was even like when it started to show signs of sex. I saw the signs of males. So that one was those ones were from early out. You know what I mean? So there's no way that I would even. I can't have pollen flying around in here and stuff, bro. Like, well,
Um,
not pollen I don't want.
yeah.
I want the pollen, you know what I mean?
Yes, I
So,
know. Pollen goes everywhere, and it only takes a little bit of air to make it just fly
but
everywhere.
some of them though don't even. Some of the manners and the sacks don't actually have viable pollen though.
Really?
Sometimes, right? Yeah, sometimes they don't. So, but to take the risk, sometimes when you're just in the lure, people actually just pop them off and continue growing if they're not
Which
like
That's why I
saturated.
have done that before. I have done that where I just grab it and just cut it off. Boom, and just
Mhm.
kept growing and everything was fine. I didn't get
Yeah,
seeds. So
yeah,
I thought, okay, cuz that makes a lot of sense because from what I thought was that I just cut the nanner off and then boom, I got it before it pollinated. But from what you're saying, it could have been pollinating but the pollen wasn't viable. So it didn't
yeah. Some of it wasn't thing, especially if they come off late in flower. Like some plants, like when you push them too far, they just go into that survival mode, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
they start pushing those things to reproduce, right? Because that's basically what a plant does, right? They grow, they flower, they create seeds, they grow again, right? So
Yes.
some strains being pushed, but at that point in time, it can't germinate, right? So I mean, it can't pollinate, but some plants do it when you're going pushing it past that stage. But
Yeah.
those two, the reason why I cut them is those were like too so early, and they were out throughout the buds too. So there's no way, like, no way controlling it. You know, I was
Yeah.
going to actually scrap the whole run. I was literally, brother, I was literally so close to just cutting everything.
It's a good thing
I
you did it
swear.
then, huh?
Yeah, because we kind of so that way it was like, you know what, man, I'll just monitor them for a little while. If I see one more turn, I'm done.
Well, it's a good
Because
thing
a
you
lot
did
of
it, man.
people
Shit,
get into
I've had that problem too, to where I was like, "Fuck, man, I should cut down everything. Like everything's going wrong. Like before everything gets pollinated." But then I was like, "Man, you know what? I'm just gonna see what happens. You know,
yeah,
just let it run and see
yeah,
what happens." And sometimes that works out. You actually end up getting buds, and nothing bad happens. And so, you know. But to me, I feel like it's all a learning experience, brother. Like
yeah,
some people,
yeah.
they need to experience that stuff so that they don't freak out next time that they see
Yeah,
it.
that's the thing too. So for me showing it too, because if you check my thing, I have a lot of new growers and a lot of like people with like new to Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't call ourselves. Maybe I wouldn't look at myself as an influencer, but I do influence people. There are people that message me a lot. They have enough DMs. They help out a lot of people. People, especially with that RDW system. But
Yeah.
the amount of people I told how I build that and I give them information on that system is crazy. All over the world, Costa Rica, Germany, England, a lot of people in the States, like a lot. Canada, Thailand, brother, like the people that be hitting me up, bro, I just be like, wow. So that
Well,
kind of tell
I'll
me,
be the first one to tell you. I think you are an influencer. All right, you're a weed influencer. So, so
so so that's why I kind of try to do things, even if I know the experience already, and just showing that just even one person, bro, even just one person could learn to sets or to whatever from you, brother. That's just one person that you help. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
it
just
goes a
made
long
one
way.
person will lead on to another person, lead on to another. Man, this is information that needs to be spreaded too.
And that's why
Um,
I show my that's why I show my mistakes too.
yeah, me too. I show my mistakes too, so that
Problems,
because mistakes are the way you learn. You don't learn by always doing fucking the right thing. Like you learn from mistakes. That's how I feel. There was some question. We're almost at the hour mark, and I was gonna make the episodes an hour, but we can go a little bit more. But there are some questions that I had put out there from the community, and they wanted to ask you.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So go ahead if you want to go a little longer and dice it up a little bit. I mean, you're pre-recording too, right? So
cool.
whatever you
Hell
want
yeah.
to do, you good.
One question that was from A&M Apothecary is she wanted to know what is your favorite part of growing?
Was my favorite part of growing. Wow.
I know it's a pretty
One of my
broad question, but yeah.
is a broad one. Popping seeds, and
Okay.
hunting strain, hunting phenos, and like just seeing the different expressions on plants and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
would say that's one of my favorite experiences with growing. But like
beautiful.
just popping that seed and seeing it, like especially when it takes a little bit longer to pop and seeing it come out through the soil and turn into a plant and just nourishing it in straight to finish.
Yeah.
And the on my face after I grow some fire. But vegetable growing, cannabis growing, that's one of my things. Seeing the seeds, they just nurturing it from a seedling, from a
From
seed straight to
this
the
little fucking thing to what it becomes. It's so
straight
beautiful.
to the straight to the paper, from the seed to the paper. Seeing that process, but just seeing that seed come up, bro. Those first, like before even cracking any color leaves, anything like that, just coming out of the seed, bro. It's just something about that is therapy, is rewarding, especially if it's taking a long time to come up, bro. And I, I was blessed with a green thumb and a black thumb, like because I'm a mechanic,
Oh, you're a
two by
mechanic
four.
too. Nice.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
I'm,
me too. Well, I'm not professional, but I do a little bit here and there.
but I work on not just a mechanic. I'm like a really good. I could say that that's something that I'm confident saying. I'm like I'm a really good mechanic. I work on all different vehicles too. You know what I mean? From dirt bikes to quads
Yeah,
to
I saw
boat.
that your was it your son
So
or one of your kids that you have working on a
my
bike?
daughter, yeah, one of my daughters, yeah.
No, your
All my
daughter.
kids, but yeah,
Oh,
she's 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 a little mechanic. I could basically call she's an apprentice mechanic. Like right now, she's 10, but
she's getting there. She's gonna be a badass then, huh?
yeah, she is. She definitely is. So I just try to pass down the trade, but that's my most like experience with
Beautiful.
growing.
The next question was from Dan's Lifestyle. He wanted to know, do you follow the breeder's recommendations for when to harvest?
No,
You don't.
never.
So, are you on one of the? So you just read the plant, right?
I read it because the growth recommendation, the grower's environment could be completely different to your environment. You're feeding, the way you feed, different nutes you use. There's so much variables And not only that, different phenols. If it was a cut, if it's a cut like a clone, I would go with they say because I know they grow it out that same particular cut. You know what I mean?
That's
But from
strange.
seeds, man, there's too much variables, bro. Never. Because look at this grow right now that I'm doing the pink grapefruit.
Yeah.
I still have one plant that's not finished yet, bro. Going into day 80, a flower.
Damn.
You
Oh,
know what
and
I
that's
mean?
in DWC, so or
Yeah.
RWC, so that's even fucking. That's a long time.
And some people in the rough already harvest, cured, and smoking. And I have two plants drying too.
Is
The
the
same.
is the are the trichomes almost there, or is it like still stunt or
I don't just go by trichomes. I go by I just like when the bud is filled out and it gets to that point that it stops. All the pistils and like everything is just drawn in, and the color starts to change. You know, it gets a purple, but then it starts to get a more little orange with it.
yeah, yeah.
Telling trichomes is hard because we touch the plant, we brush the plant, the wind blows on the plant, trichomes get damaged and they turn orange. The ones on the sugar leaf turn before the ones in the buds. So to get a real read and say you're at 10% or 15%, in my opinion, is hard, man.
It is.
So
It's pretty hard.
I check the buds themselves, the callus and stuff. I check the ones on there. I don't go with the sugar leaves. My sugar leaves is always turning first. And then when I see that bud stop, in RDWC though is easier because I could read my plant from how the food they're eating,
Oh, how
how
much
much
they're
they're
eating.
how much they're eating, and then how much they're drinking too. Because they slow down eating and then they
Comes
slow
straight
down drinking.
at
So
the
my
end of the life
numbers,
cycle. Yes.
RDWC is all about numbers, brother. Once you learn to read that and you learn to read from reading numbers, it becomes so much easier, bro. And to me, you learn a lot about it's like you take like an engine, you're in mechanic class, they have the cut open engines that you
Yeah.
see inside.
Yeah.
You can learn, you take away the soil and you learn from just the numbers and learn what the plant is doing.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's
So
cool. Good. That's cool, man. Yeah, personally, I don't take the recommendations either. I mean, it's cool to have them there, but you
as
got to
a
read
base,
the plant. You have to read the plant. The plant will tell you when she's done.
yeah,
Um,
you can use it as a baseline to go
as-
with, but
yeah,
too
I
much
would
people
say
are
as a recommendation because then you would be able to be like, okay, so it says to flower it for 8 weeks, so now you know that you have those 8 weeks that you're going to try to do this with. Now it may go longer, may go shorter, but you know that you have 8 weeks before something crazy is going to happen. VIP Plantation, he had a question. He said, "Will you ever consider splash ponics?"
splash on it. So he's meaning like kind of like I don't quite understand what is his definition of splash bonnets. I
I
don't know
think
if you mean like what we would call a waterfall.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's in his system he has it like it's a closed off container and there's the holes where the plant goes, and then in his system I think it just sprays all the nutrients in the roots. I
Oh,
think
so that's well, that would be aeroponics then. But
aeroponics.
if you're not going to like fine misters and you're just dropping big particles of water from the top and it's just hitting and splashing, that would be called. Some people call that a waterfall system, and that's what I use in my RDWC.
Okay.
I don't have undercurrent, right? My return line to the tubs that comes on that falls from the top and drops back down inside, right? So
Okay.
if that's what he's saying, yes,
I
I
think
kind of think
that might be what he's talking about. I remember his grow was like that too. I'm sorry, VIP. I'm blanking on your grow all the way there.
because I find my plants that is closer to the waterfall always does a little bit better. They have bigger trunks and bigger branches and stuff like that. So there is something to it for sure.
Okay. Um Then the last question from the audience was Tallow Viscal, I'm pretty sure. That's who wrote this question. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry there, brother. But he was asking, how would it be possible to stabilize a land race strain? And that is a weird quote. It's a kind of broad question because
Yeah.
land races, you would
Basically,
have,
would be stabilized already, right? But
um,
land risk would basically be stabilized already, right? Because if it's
yeah,
strain that was done in those years back and forth and back and forth.
because
But
it would
if
be
you're talking
already
about,
breeding itself out in nature.
yeah,
That's for those who don't know land race. That's what it means.
it was there
Oh,
for 50, 60, whatever, long time. But if you want to change, because sometimes we have something that's land risk that climatized to a certain environment,
I'm sorry,
certain
brother.
parameters.
I have to cut you off. I'm so sorry. I forgot that I had another people coming right after this episode, so they're here at the door, and it's about to
Yeah,
get
bro.
loud. So,
Yeah, yeah, bro.
I-
It's all good. We went a little long. We talk a little. You know how it
hey,
goes to.
I will definitely have you on for
There's so
episode
much,
2, or we'll have part 2 on,
but
and we'll get this going again.
I got some surprises to tell you for part two, brother. We'll do it as soon as possible.
Beautiful. Hell yeah,
A
brother. I
whole
will
lot,
book you.
a
I'll
whole
have you
lot of
booked and
things.
ready for that, and we will do another episode. For everybody, thank you so much for tapping in. I'm sorry I have to close it. I just said it's gonna get loud, and now the my nephews are here. So
Yeah, bro. It's all good.
yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming on, and we will see everybody next time for the next episode of CannaConvos. Thank you, brother.
Hey, brother. One love.
We'll see you later, man. Have a good day.
Yeah, that's it.
If I can, if I can Hey, be quiet. And then we gotta stop this.